Well, the topics. We're going to talk about some countries in movie theaters. They have a special option that we don't have here. We're going to talk about an airplane crash that changed the industry, and we're going to talk about Stephen King helping students. So let's go. Cue the music. Welcome to the morning segment, your morning weekday show, our 94th episode. So let's start with the topics, movie theaters. I just learned there's a few countries here. I'm gonna name them: Iceland, Switzerland, Egypt, Turkey, and India. Okay, what they have in common is those countries, they all have intermissions in the middle of the movie, 10 minutes. So you can buy stuff, you can go to the bathroom, you can do whatever. You can relax, get up, walk around. What? How come we don't have that, How many times I went to the movie theaters and I missed an important part because I drank too much soda or coffee. I think the last 2 times I went to the movies, there was a Starbucks and I bought a coffee. I was sitting, watching a movie, drinking a coffee. When I was young, they didn't have that. I don't think so, but when I was young, I didn't drink coffee, so I don't know. I do now. Anyway, so I don't know. Do you guys want it? It is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries out of like 200. Do you guys want this intermission? 10 minutes? You decide. Me, I would like to try. It would be nice to have an option, Some hours they have intermissions, some they don't. Hello, call me. I have ideas. So, me, I would like to try. I didn't even try the movies that, it's for adults, that you can have drinks, you can have like food delivered to your seat, like a restaurant. I didn't try it yet. I don't know if I want it. So I know there was a place, I don't know if it's still there. There was a branch restaurant. They were in the movie theaters and you can buy food there. And it was regular price. Wow. You can go there, have regular price food. Thank God. Anyway, that's what I like. So now a bit of sad news is that I was watching a documentary about Flight 820 in 1973. That's a flight that left Brazil, went to France, and there was a crash at the end. They couldn't make it to the airstrip. They went to the field before, and it changed the industry because sadly there was 134 people on the plane and only 11 survived. So 123 died, and it was very shocking because when the firemen arrived to help, there was no fighting, there was nothing, and everyone was sitting in their seats, not moving. And the thing is, there was a fire, okay? And that fire changed the industry because it was one cigarette. And that cigarette was burning, and the crew didn't know where the fire came from, because the smoke was so dense. And they changed the industry. Like the oxygen mask didn't came down for the I think it was 73, so they didn't have it, or didn't have it for that, so it didn't come down, but the pilots had it, and they managed to survive and to land the plane in the field. But the cigarette like was in a toilet area, a little cabin, and it was in the bin, the trash bin. And the trash bin was made of plastic, that it was flammable, and it was toxic. And that's why. So it came up in the ventilation, and then it was everywhere. So the crew didn't know where it came from. And they say there's so much smoke, but there's no fire. We don't see the fire, so they couldn't put it out and everything. And that's what killed most people. Is there was no I kind of say like there was no way to cut the stop fire, and it was toxic. There's only one passenger. That's the weird thing. All the crew members survived, I think. There were 10 and one passenger. But since then, they were still allowed to smoke back after that, but there were more rules and better equipment, and there was nothing in the toilet that you could be flammable except toilet paper. So at least it's not toxic, when it burns. So that's it. So they change. They change because of it. And even to this day, in 2025, it's going to happen again. It happened the 11th of July, and they always have a ceremony on that film about that flight. So kudos, I guess, to France to remember. And it's been like how many years now? 50 years. So yeah, more than 50 years. It's going to be 52 years ago. So change the industry for the better. Now there's non-smoking, and I hope everyone's going to respect that, Anyway. Now something cute about Stephen King. Does it exist? You know those stories about his books and everything, but this is cute because in 1977 he started to sell his short stories for $1 dollar, and it was for students and indie production, for festivals and everything. And the only rule is you can use it, but you cannot make money out of it. You cannot do anything like beyond. And he keeps like some rights about his stories, but he has like a lot of stories, short stories that he put out to help, because it's not everyone who can write stories, but they can act, they can produce films, they can create from what they read. So kudos for him, it's helping the arts in a different way. So good for him, there's some heroes, there's some heroes in those horror stories. So I will finish my coffee, black, cannot hide the taste. It's a coffee, it's a morning show, and that's your only proof right there. When you see coffee, it's, oh my gosh, it's a morning show. You don't believe me? Anyway, so this is it. Thursday gone, payday gone. Meet you tomorrow for Friday, the 95th episode. Don't forget to subscribe, to ping that bell, to like, to dislike. I want a reaction. See my pinned comment. Comment. I will comment your comments. And share it to your grandma. Share it to your coffee crew. Coffee crew could be your friends who drinks coffee with. Or it's people who makes your coffee. Okay? And see ya. And one of the most famous quote on Facebook. Heat, heat.